Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramon, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I'm so thrilled to have you join us today. This podcast is dedicated to exploring the idea of doing business and living life with a purpose, serving others, and yes, achieving success. We believe that when we approach our work and our lives with a servant's heart, we could truly make a difference. We created this show for you because we want everyone to be motivated, inspired, and educated to make an impact in your world. Whether you're a highly income earning business owner, you're a founder, or you're just an entrepreneur or somebody that wants to add purpose to their daily life, this podcast is here to support you. While you're listening to my incredible guests today, I want you to think about how we're going to serve today and what impact you're going to create today. And my sponsor are going to help you with that as well. I mean, not my sponsor, excuse me, my guest. My sponsor today is Pantheon Alliance. Picture yourself joining an elite community of high-income, successful business owners and entrepreneurs from a variety of industries, all working together to create a powerful referral marketplace. Imagine your business reaching new heights. Now, with that being said, and impact and servant heart, my guest has that and so much more. Bogdan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
You are in Romania now or not?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so he's an international guest. I'd like to do a shout out to that because it's always fun to have somebody international. Let's jump into the Warrior Shaman System. What is it about and how does it help businesses?
Yeah, well, it's actually a 3-step system. The shaman eliminates limiting beliefs, turns every reason why you can't into every reason why you will. The warrior mindset elevates your confidence, so you create bigger opportunities. And the third component is the business owner mindset. And that's all about gaining more freedom in your business, thinking more like a business owner, working above the business rather than constantly putting out fires in the business.
What's the description of a shaman warrior?
Well, it's something I kind of created in many ways. It's because of my martial arts background. I taught this martial arts system called Wing Chun. It was Bruce Lee's first martial art. And I combined it with personal development. That's when I kind of started coaching. So there was one thing that my martial arts teacher said that really, really stuck with me. He said that the best priests are the ones who've been to war, right? This is probably an older saying back when kind of war was the norm, because they see the best of humanity and the worst of humanity.
Yeah, that's war is not, well, we have war, but it's not everywhere like it was back then. And it's interesting. So martial arts is it pretty big in Romania? I know it's international, but is that where you learned it? Is in Romania, excuse me?
Kind of a mix. I mean, I went to college in Greece. That's where I met my Wing Chun teacher. I was doing karate before that. And he learned from a Chinese master and so on and so forth. So, pretty international environment, I would say.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's the parallels between martial arts and business?
Well, that's really comes from the warrior mindset. But I would say the biggest lesson I learned from martial arts that I use in business is the principle of yin and yang. Most people give you strategy, which is very important, but without the mindset to support it, you never really fully use those strategies because you either have some limiting beliefs around success, limiting beliefs about yourself, you don't feel enough. So because you don't feel like enough or you don't feel like you deserve the thing, you don't fully use the strategy as much as you could. On the flip side, people give you mindset advice and you learn how to better manage your emotions, you learn a bit of manifestation work, but then you're left wondering, okay, but how do I actually create leads and how do I actually sell? How do I hire people? So to me, to become an effective coach, I spent a lot of time diving deep into both because I understood that one needs to go without the other, with the other, but not just like, here's one strategy, here's one mindset. You need the strategy and the mindset that perfectly aligns with that strategy. So you're able to run with it.
Yeah.
That's the most important lesson I learned from martial arts that I kind of live life. Yeah.
And you educate business owners with the warrior shaman system,
Yes.
excuse me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a powerful tool. So what makes the warrior shaman system different than other systems out there?
I just told you.
There you go. See, I asked the
Right?
question again. But
No
so
problem.
take me to the journey of I'm a client, I own a business. What's
Mhm.
the warrior shaman system going to look like for me?
Well, I can show you rather than tell you
Here,
better. Um, what's something exciting that you're working on these days, for example?
direct mail program.
Beautiful. What would you need to make it a huge success and do it in a way that's elegant, fun, and exciting? I'm not saying you're not doing that already,
Yeah,
right? But just being more and more of you, having more and more fun with it. What would need to happen?
talk to 5 people a week.
Beautiful. Are you doing that?
Yep, 10 actually.
Great. Great. Let me ask you a different question. Because I know we kind of talked a bit before, right? You have a big vision for your work, right?
Correct. Big vision.
What would need to happen for you to accelerate those results? I
More
mean,
people.
we already kind of had this conversation, right?
Hmm.
Am I allowed to touch upon it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So the conversation we had around your goals and your work, the warrior was around, hey, it's time to go after even bigger guests, even more searchable guests for the show, right? Think bigger than you've ever thought before. That's the warrior.
Got it.
The shaman is not seeing yourself, like seeing your full value, seeing yourself as a human, the oneness, right? The reason why people don't go after bigger deals and bigger projects is because, we have this hierarchy of I'm over here, but this person over there. The shaman is about oneness, being connected, healed, right? So when you come from this perspective of oneness, it's like, wait a second, this person's just like me, or I'm just like this person. Why? Of course I should talk. Of course I should have these conversations. Why not, right? And then the business owner, this is actually a very spiritual practice, the business owner, because it's about stepping back outside of yourself in many ways and looking at the bigger picture, looking at the business as a whole, right? It doesn't take you more than if you give yourself 10 to 20 minutes a day to do that, you're already stepping into that business owner mindset. You don't need to be in that the whole day, but just that short amount of time works wonders for your work, right? And a lot of the work is also embodying the super successful version of you because you know you notice that we tend to be one way in certain situations and then another way in certain situations. Maybe we're super confident in one situation, not so confident in another. So what does that mean? It means that our personality, what we identify, who we think we are, is fluid.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we're switching from one channel to the next, right? So on this channel, you have, not that much confidence, stress, worries. On the other channel, you're like super confident. So a lot of the work is also getting very clear on who this person is that's very confident, very comfortable. It's just, of course, they're going to be successful, right? There's no evidence of it not happening. And continuously, constantly throughout the day, tuning into that channel. And when you're being that version of you, everything just flows and it comes naturally. You step out of neediness, you step out of stress, you step out of having to work very hard for certain goals. And the goals just come with ease and elegance. From that identity, you create the strategy that works for you, right? Because I tell my clients that if I give you, and of course, when I work with my clients, I give them a strategy that they can try out depending on what they need. But I tell them this, if I give you a strategy and it works and it stops there, then I failed. My goal is for my clients to not need me, to not need any strategy, to shift into that version of them who
Do
can
they
create
stay
effortlessly.
and they stay there instead of going back and forth and waffling? That's powerful.
Yeah.
Did you develop this system yourself?
I've had like a multitude of mentors, of inspirations, things that I felt fit me very well, things that I felt fit my clients very well. So, like all of us, we stand on the shoulders of giants and we put our
Yeah.
own twists to things.
Yeah. What pain, if somebody's listening as a founder, CEO, executive, whatever it may be, what pain point would you say that you fix?
Stress, I would say, and sales.
Okay. Which
Yeah,
go
that's kind
together.
of my magic. Yes. So usually the people I work with, they start amplifying their sales and let go of their stress, right? The worry, the anxiety just goes away because they tapped into that version of them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's two important things. If you don't have sales, you don't have a company. So you're solving a big problem. That's huge.
Mm,
Or helping or supporting a big problem. Now
yeah.
I've read that you were impacted in your childhood that affected your rest of your life. What was that impact as a child?
Yeah, you're probably referring to fifth grade. I was voted as being the most disliked kid in class. Yeah, and the thing that struck me the most was that I was really trying hard to be liked. And what I got was the exact opposite. And I realized that, after a certain point, when I stopped caring about what my colleagues thought about me, that's when they came to me. And then later I did it again in college. Whenever I felt like insecure, like when I changed the environment and felt insecure, I kind of lost myself. I was putting on this facade, this mask of I think I should be this way so that people would like me. And then I did it again in my business. And then I realized that I wasn't the only one. We tend to do this, especially coaches in the beginning. We think, okay, now I have to be the marketer. Now I have to be the salesperson. Now I have to be this other. We put on these roles um, that don't necessarily fit us, and we get the exact opposite. Not many leads, not many sales, tremendous stress, tremendous worry. And it's just kind of compounding, and you're in this downward spiral
Yeah.
and you don't know how to get out of it. That's the key, when you stop or you care less, right? Not being careless, but just care less about what people think and you just being more of you. That's the key. That's the key. And just it doesn't really apply just for coaches. If you're an entrepreneur, you're leading a team. If you're putting on this facade and trying to be what you think your team needs you to be, what you're encouraging in the company is a lack of authenticity, lack of transparency.
Yeah. I learned this phrase 3 years ago. What you think about me is none of my business. Exactly
Right.
what you're saying. It doesn't matter what you think about me because it's not part of me. It's part of you, your judge, whatever it may be. What's your inspiration to be a business development coach?
I'm not sure I have an inspiration.
Okay.
It's just something. It's like if you're a coach, it's not that you've been a coach like since you've officially started your business. You've been a coach your whole life. You just didn't know it was called that. I remember my dad when he started his business. I was always trying to constantly come up with business ideas to help him out, right? I was 7, and then I was eternally fascinated by how people work. And I think that event of, being so disliked by my peers, I think it was a huge catalyst because it really drove me to diving into even deeper into understanding how people actually work. So it's like it's a fascination that I've always had. There's nothing that's more fun and more exciting for me than seeing transformation in my people and the people that I work with. You know,
Yeah,
I can
that's
see.
yeah, that's a servant's heart. I'm just gonna say that transformation just makes the heart glow. It's awesome.
Yeah,
And then of
I,
course
I
it helps
could
the business.
I could tell from your eyes that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I just had it happen Monday, so I know what you're feeling. And sometimes it's the most subtle thing. It could be
Yeah,
one comment, and people reach back out to you and go, "You changed my life in that one call." And anybody could do it. This is a skill that could go across the board, right?
yeah,
Just need to
yeah,
practice. What is a great
yeah.
story of a client that you've helped?
Well, I have a few. The one that I we talked about, one of my biggest clients, he was doing 120 million a year and really terrified to grow his business. He thought that he was going to make a mistake and that mistake would cost him millions, that he would disappoint his family, that his family wouldn't support him getting out of his comfort zone and trying on new things. And just like in a few conversations, he found his confidence as a business owner. Now he's hiring directors of departments left and right, like looking for the best of the best in his business to grow things for him. That was fun. Another one of my clients recently, this gentleman who was like had a 6 months streak of zero sales. And it was incredible because his expertise is helping other experts make more money in 5 days than they do in the whole year. He helped a client make 160K in 5 days with like a 5-day challenge system. Another one of his clients made 400K and he was making literally zero sales, even though he had these amazing testimonials. We started working together and he made 20K in 2 weeks. And that was like a huge leap. And the reason why I share these numbers is, they're just kind of a scorecard in a sense of the transformation. I could tell you like any single one of the conversations I have with my clients, it's like it's a huge win for me. It's like the person before and then the person after. Um, Seeing somebody light up and say, "Hey, I get it." Like for example, Vicky, she's a shamanic healer, right? And she was dealing with like a bit of weirdness herself with the business. She was very successful before. She was offering like a version of her current work combined with business coaching, right? And to her, that meant like initially she felt like she was more justified to charge what she was charging and be successful in that because it had the business element. But now she just wanted to do the healing. And she had like a massive struggle seeing her worth in that sense, or not necessarily her worth, but the worth of the healing. So the conversation was around her understanding that it's not that you're putting a price on you. It's not really your worth, just like, we talked a bit about. It's the worth of the work that's being channeled through you, right? Because I wrote a book in Romanian. I didn't write it. It's being channeled through you. And for anybody listening, if you know this feeling when you're teaching something, this thing just comes through you. You have no idea where it came from, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're not charging for you. It's has nothing to do with your worth. You're literally channeling the universal wisdom through you. And that's incredibly valuable, right? So that helped her release a lot of this weight on her shoulders and find her confidence. And now she doesn't need me, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge win
Hey,
for me.
graduation's so big. And I love you talk about that because there's coaches out there that know that people graduate. They keep adding on and let me help you here. You need me all the time messaging. And I'm with you. I don't believe in that. And people go, well, how do you make
Right.
money? Well, she's gonna go tell somebody else, go, hey, I work with this guy Bogdan. Man, he made changes in my life. You need to talk to him. That's where you make the money, not just keeping
Right.
charging people monthly. And a quick note, audience, the gentleman he was talking about that hit the 20,000, I had a one-on-one call with. Absolutely
Did
true.
you?
Yeah, I've met with him and he's a great guy and I'm helping with him. But he did say that, yeah, he's massive growth quickly because of your coaching. So I can
Well,
legitimize and evidence proof of it. And you know what? He said it wouldn't have done without you. And that's the best phrase
that
you
is
can
so
hear.
cool. I
Yeah,
didn't know
it's
that.
yeah. So I had to make sure I say that. Um, let's have a little
I didn't
fun.
know you guys met, but that's so cool. I'm happy
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and I'm helping him in other ways as well. So it's, and that's what it's all about in a servant's heart. It's finding a team, like you said, finding people to work with you. You're one part. He's gonna help. I'm gonna help him in some other part. He may go to somebody else to help him here. We can't all do it alone. We need a team. We need a community to help us grow. And I think that's a part of the mindset that you teach is don't try to do it all yourself as a CEO or executive because you can't, right?
I mean, chief executive officer, right? It implies having a team,
Yeah. Well, let's have some
right?
fun. We're getting at the end here. I have a real fun question for you, and I love
Sure.
not telling the guests. So you're in Romania. You're going to your favorite restaurant. There's
Mm.
a table of four for you. You're sitting in one of the chairs. Who's going to sit in the other three chairs, dead or alive? Why would they sit there? And what food would you order?
I probably have an ET.
Okay.
That's fun. Um, Tony Robbins, he's always fun. He has some really funny stories.
And his voice
Um,
too. He's got that unique voice.
yeah, he's probably gonna talk us all to death on
Yeah.
the table, but we'll have a big laugh though. And somebody from the past, hmm, my grandfather probably.
That's a great
Yeah.
group. And what will the people be eating?
Um, I don't know, probably what they want to eat. Well, maybe I'll have some Italian spaghetti or risotto.
Oh, okay. I'd be there in
Yeah.
a second. Love that. So this Warrior Shaman system is awesome. How can people reach out to you to learn more or get involved and support you?
Probably through my YouTube channel. I recently started a fresh YouTube channel where I'm sharing more and more of the shaman there. I was a lot into the business side of things, and now I kind of balanced it out. So that would be a fun place to check out more of my work and my website as well. Oh, and we're doing a cool Heal to Succeed event. This is a monthly event, and yeah, that's also fun if you wanted to join us.
And is there and you're going to give me the link, so audience, I'll put the link in the show notes, right?
Yeah, yeah. What's different about Heal to Succeed is it's not just me talking. What I do is I have a few people and we do live coaching, right? So I get to see you, I get to see exactly what's going on, and basically we together we can create these shifts that we've been talking about. So that's always fun.
See you in action, full live in action. That's pretty cool. I like that. Thank you, Bogdan. This has been a great show.
Thank
Your
you.
system's wonderful. Guys and girls, reach out, comment on the YouTube. You have to, I'll get the message to him. If you don't have his contact info, reach out to me and I'll connect you with him as well. He's looking for a lot of people at this event, and make a breakthrough maybe at the event, or maybe make a breakthrough that you want to reach out to Bogdan and work with him. And you get those successes that he mentioned with the clients that he's been working with. And as always, me and Bogdan, thank you so much for listening or watching to this podcast. And we'll see you all on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day.